Oh, I need to click my camera because then it zooms in. Go. Anyway, Haskell, not a game engine, but video game. A game, writing a game in Haskell. Easy mode. No, I don't know. Let's just writing a game in Haskell. Whatever. Yeah, that's the title, by the way. This will not be great for YouTube, I guess. Let's first start with clicking away my Discord. Hey, Skyro, how are you doing? Are you sleeping, man? Are you tired? I think you're tired. Yeah, that's okay. You can sit back, relax, and watch me think while I am tired as well. Oh, you had a nap. That's a good idea. I had a run, and I'm actually kind of awake because of the run, which is good. I guess it's becoming a habit of yours to have naps now. You know, my grandparents also do that. I'm comparing you to my grandparents now. Congratulations. I still want to kill you, Max. I have too much shit open. Yeah. Oh god damn it! Stop stacking these. What's going on? Oh no, is that why does that happen? I don't understand. Okay. We're gonna go to our game. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna make combat work. That's the goal. Einstein took naps regularly. Are you telling I'm not Einstein? I guess I'm not Einstein after all. It's operation not permitted. Please. I should make an alias, please. For sudo. Please kill you, Max. Alias. Please. Is sudo. Yeah, but I tried making an alias for sudo with please, but it didn't work. It's my joke for today, and by the way, it's stolen, the joke, but it's a good joke. So better to steal it goodly than invent it badly. So if you make an alias, will you remember to use it? No, probably not. I installed this command called fuck, which helps you fuck up, but I never use it. You know, if you misspell or something, then you can type fuck, and then it will spell it correctly for you. But it never works. Let's try it out actually. Let's say we type Emacs, you know, the way I would write it, the normal way of writing it, and then you say fuck Emacs. Got it. I'm using Home Manager, by the way. I'm not mad because of that. I actually think that's like the proper way of doing it, but I'm just too lazy. No, I think I'm proud of you that you go so far in the Nix way. I don't know what convinced you to go all into Nix. I hope I didn't contribute to that. But I commend your progress and your growth as a person to embrace Nix so fully. That's amazing. I'm not sure how useful it is, but okay, so the primary reason for me to use Nix is to have my projects that are old as fuck. Like, you know, 5OL, that other game I made. But at least I can build it, even though it's like 5 years old or whatever. It's even on top, man. Probably because that's 3 stars. It's 4 years old and it's still built because of Nix. Cool. I love that. The random Norwegian guy that took a day off to show up at Haskell talk did. He dissed you because you were using Nix. Really? Probably just jealous. They're all jealous. That's what I say. Oh, he kept talking about Nix. Oh, he tried to convince you. Told me to use. But what did he say to convince you? I'm curious. Or was he just excited in general? So actually, I got this character to move yesterday, but then I refactored the game state and now it's broken again. I don't know why it's broken either. That's what we gotta fix. We gotta fix bugs today, by the way. I did all the fun stuff off stream. You know, we we got like an endo grid, which is our level. So we're just setting, you know, we did all the fun stuff off stream, Skybro. Do you see this? Endo grid, which is our level. Means it's grid to grid. right? And then we are using these setters in a list, and we're just folding over it, and it just works. Isn't that amazing? Hello, Lumi. And then we're doing the same trick here for all. And this is just, how are you doing, Count? Hello, everyone. The Swedes Norwegian sound funny, sounds silly or jolly Swedish. So anything they say makes us happy. Oh, that's how they convince you. But it wasn't hard. Ah, that's how you convince people. You just have to sound happy. It's gonna be hard for me. I don't know. Actually, I found that entire Swedish language sounding kind of happy, I guess. But I also found out that we can just fold over functions directly. We don't even need endo. So we put a setter in here, and then we put another setter in this list, and then we just fold and we put it in the grid, right? And that's the move. This is how we move, because we folded this list of tethers. So this just becomes one big ass function, and it sets that grid. Isn't that amazing? Aren't lenses amazing with endo? But we apparently don't even need endo. We can just do like fold, I guess. Oh no, but and then it will become like grid to grid, I guess. That's what we get out of this. And then we don't need an endo anymore. You know, Sour was saying that I'm like, you know, spending too much time on my engine, but that's not the problem at all. I'm spending way too much time having fun with lenses. It all works! It just works! Did you see that? Isn't that amazing? I love it. You just fold this list of functions and it becomes a big function. Oh, endo stream. Yeah. I thought this was cool. I don't know. We're folding these setters together to make a big ass function. I love it. Oh, and because I'm using the list syntax, we don't have to, like normally you would have to do this, and then you can compose it with the other one, like that. But we don't have to do that because it's in a list. So we have to use this syntax now instead. So yeah, I don't know. Let's fix our bug then. I actually don't know how to fix our bug. I was actually thinking of making a test, because I think the base case just doesn't work. So we can test this function, should character move, which is like 90% of the logic anyway. So let's go to our hexagon spec, which does everything at the moment. And let's just make the most shitty test ever. So we'll take some game state. We'll take, that's a good question. Oh, we'll just have initial state. Maybe just copy this over, right? Level, initial grid. So we copy this over so that we don't accidentally, like if we would change the level, which is gonna happen by the way. If we're gonna change the level, then there's no problem. Yeah, exactly, right? Monoid, everything. I think just figuring all this stuff out, it was a ton of fun. What else? Oh, there was more stuff I discovered. So our update state now is a, well, this may look familiar to you, this entire thing, because this is actually what Elm does. So you get like some event, you pattern match on that event, like update events here, left click, right click, and then you return another state, right? This is the Elm update function, which we built in Reflex because we are using Akum. So we reinvented Elm for our game. Isn't that amazing? I don't know where it is. Oh, it's here. Update state, Akum. We put in the initial state, and then we just accumulate events, and that's Elm. This is how we got Elm. So we use Reflex to get back Elm, and now, yeah, we have Elm architecture in Haskell with lenses, by the way. We use state, game state. Yeah, so our game state is basically like the current state of the game. So over time this will change, and we need to keep track of that to render it basically. If you're asking, is this a state monad? Then no, it's not, because we're doing Reflex stuff. So, by the way, Akum in Hebrew is curved, not related comment. Well, thanks for the comment. Curved. Yeah, but I think in this case we mean Akum as in accumulate. So that every time we get an event, we throw it into the update state. So it's basically a fold over time. So we get the event in here, and that event now gets the opportunity to change our state. So we get the previous state and we return the new state. And for example, if we do a left click, we set the selected tile in the game. And if we get a right click, we will try to move. But it doesn't always work, because we don't actually know if we even can move as a character, amongst other things. And there's like all these conditions as well that have to be fulfilled before we can move. Why not state monad? We don't use state monad because we use reflex. So reflex handles time, so it makes sense to put it in a dynamic T game state. I decided to use the reflex SDL thingy, and now I think it also makes sense to keep this. But you could use a state monad as well, but then you have to, then you kind of have to figure out yourself how to update that, how to accumulate. You don't get this function then, which is a hard function to write, I think. I'm not sure. You probably have to recurse yourself. You have to do your own recursion. That's how you would fix that. But we don't have to do this. We get the accum combinator from reflex. I keep asking this, but he ignoring me. Anytime I see a function like s to s, I think I should use state. Well, not always, but you get my point. If you see a function s to s, you think you should use state. No, you should use endo and lenses. Well, you should, like, endo, I guess is not really that useful at the moment, for what we're doing at least. I'm not really sure what it's useful for now, because you might as well, you know, just write it as an arrow. Why would you use the new type? I don't get it. I don't get it yet. Maybe this is the wrong use case, but these are the same things. Putting it into endo or doing this. And I like this better because it's less stuff. I mean, a function like some stuff state. Yeah, but it's also fault, right? Because if you look at this signature, not this one. Like state and fault are very similar. Very similar. I don't know why I think that, but every time I see state, I also think fault, because it kind of tracks it, right? I need my browser and I need Google, because I don't remember these signatures. A to B to B. No, this is fault left. B to A to B. So this is a fault left. Like the inner part, I mean. It's B to A to B. And that's, yeah. I don't know how to do it with state. Monad. S. Oh yeah. You get your S. It's a little bit different, right? Because you get the S out, but you get also the side effect out. Something like events, state. That's just fault. Yeah, yes, that's just fault. But this is the other fault. I get what you mean. Are you saying this is also a fault? Well, yes, because we could move multiple things, right? So this will be the inner of a right fault. This is the inner of a left fault. I don't know what that means, but I know that it's like really hard. You can't write them differently. If you have a signature like this, it will become a right fault, and if you have a signature like this, it will become a left fault by definition, by type signature definition, almost. Type ADS. Anyway, let's write our spec. Yeah, I'm not too happy with. I'm thinking like, could we quick check this? Probably not for what I want to test. I just want to test like if a player is and some tile, can he move to another tile? And that's just really hard to express as a property, I believe. So some axial player axial. So we'll just write an ordinary test instead, because I believe this doesn't work. Should character move? Character should move. So we get some initial state in there, and then we're gonna say, oh, we also know the result even of this test. That's really easy to do. Law. So should move. Where you want to move to? Well, let's move to 3-3, right? Which is a neighbor of 2-3, I believe. Probably yes. Okay. So this should be just move. Damn it. Just move, damn it. Just make move, by the way, because that's a data constructor, not a type constructor. So you should make it. I was helping a friend who is new to programming. I had to write some imperative code and realized I can't implement shit without recursion anymore. Yeah. Yeah. After a while you stop thinking the like the imperative way. It just starts feeling wrong. It feels so wrong. I write a loop. It's so much work as well, right? You have to do for I is smaller than blah, I plus plus, open. Dear God. Okay, we're gonna move from there, and we're gonna move the 2 there. That's our test. Now, do you work? You test. I'm happy, by the way. I had all the fun before stream, and now we're just left with debug. But it kind of was by accident, because I was hoping I could like make the game back in the state it was on previous stream. Although you guys never saw the character move, so maybe we are back at the previous stream. It's just a lot more complicated for no reason, no apparent reason yet, because we got one thing right now, which is we actually have a tile inside our map. So we can have a coordinate and we can have a tile with some content inside it. And the content will be a player or an enemy, maybe, or nothing, I guess. I don't know how to implement algorithms in an imperative way. Exactly. For number to remember is why I can't just map. Number to remember. Number to remember? Why can't I just map? I don't get the joke. Is it in my code somewhere? Yeah. It's an imperative joke. Why do you need to remember a number? It's an imperative joke. I'm too functional to understand this imperative shitty joke. Just give me FP jokes. Don't throw this shit at me, man. Oh, it's not game state, it's make game state. What am I doing? What is my shitty style, man? We should no longer pun. It's a bad habit. People will complain about it. Not in scope, type constructor or class, game state. But it's actually a bit of a problem, you know? We can't even construct it. Yeah, we need to test, so let's expose it. We need to import guest. Because it's imperative he can't understand. Doesn't fit in my brain. And this some joke, I'm too functional to understand. Yeah, did you clip that? I'm too functional to understand. I function so well I don't even understand it. I reached the epiphany of functional programming. There's nothing beyond this point. Oh, we should also export shoot character move. You know what? I start to believe that this moving stuff and this game state and I don't know what else, it should go to a different module. Let's do some refactoring. Hooray! Yeah. Yeah. This is all state stuff. Let's just make like a module state. How about that? State LHS. I wonder if anyone has like a better way of creating modules, because my copy paste method is kind of annoying. Defense, a bit state, blah blah blah, and we throw the rest away. Isn't that neat? There, you can delete all this stuff. It's state. We'll leave you here to deal with that. It is not imperative that you understand. Okay, I had enough. Don't get it. What? Is that another imperative joke? Better way of creating modules. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe there's a template mechanism or something. I don't know. I'm just copying pasting existing ones. This is just a copy of guest. And now I have to delete all these fucking imports. It's gonna be annoying as shit. I don't think this is like, I feel I'm just doing something, you know? But maybe that's just the way we should be doing Haskell. Just you know, figure it out. And There's no better way. All bad jokes, don't worry. Well, good. Not imperative that you understand. I like, maybe I need to look at that tomorrow and just think about it for like half an hour. I really don't get it. Well, template wouldn't know what modules to import. Like maybe there's maybe some Haskell language server magics. Does anyone know? You know, to do the imports as well. I hate doing imports. It's one of the most tedious chores ever. And I remember that Java can do it for you. It's so annoying. Why do I have to do this? I used LSP, so yeah, it imports for me. So I've decided we're gonna have an Emacs stream and we're gonna set up LSP because that's unacceptable. I need to have that now. But I guess like one of the problems LSP has is that it can't really deal with like having to juggle around 10 projects. And that's something I get from like a lot of editors as well. It's like Emacs is pretty good at it, you know, to deal with, okay, I'm working on game 12 now. Okay, I work on a work project now. Okay, I'm doing this contracting job now. It's just fine. Like it can just keep all that shit open and it's fine. But if you have something like Visual Code, it just expects you to work on a single project. It just doesn't work for me. LSP works fine with multiple projects. Okay, that's good. Well, LSP can import with code actions, right? How? How does Emacs invoke code actions from an LSP then? I don't know. I don't know these things. That's why we need to have an Emacs stream. And my Emacs involve a lot of nicks probably. Because, yes, I have issues. Don't ask. I started to use a new Haskell language server. Is it any good? I used UHCID. I don't understand. Why are there two? Why is there not just? I don't get it. Just tell me which one is good. Which one should I use? Tell me what is the best fake IDE you know? There are three. No, just tell me one. I just need one. I don't want to install three. Like I barely could get the one to work. It was on a Fedora machine. LSP code. You can set it up for Emacs or Vim too. With licks will be hard. LSP execute code action. I guess that's some kind of. Do I have it installed? No, I don't have it installed. What? What the hell's LSP? Well, I guess we have some LSP, but the problem with Haskell tooling 6. Tools that implement a subset of functionality but are incompatible. Oh, 6 tools that implement a subset of functionality but are incompatible. Yeah, everyone just, you know, goes off, make their own shitty little project and nothing works together. Yeah. UCID seems the most stable then at the moment. That's my experience at least. Okay, let's go with stability instead. I just want to have something that works for a long time. At least fiddly. That's also good. Works. And that does not even touch the compatibility with Nix stack. They usually work with either or. Yes. 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 Let's just make everything work off. Yeah. It's frustrating. Update defense. So you are defining update defense because you are the function to use that. So it makes sense to put you above you. Really, the most important is reliable go-to definition for libraries. The rest is optional. No, for me, I also want to have import management. Go-to definition, I kind of sort of shittily figured out for my own projects at least. If I run that etax thing. Hashtags, not so file directory. Right, we need to install that. Hashtags. I think it's in Haskell packages. There you go. I don't know why I didn't have it before. Well, I guess the project was too small to even bother with, you know, jump to definition. I guess it's growing a little bit, but it's still small as fuck. It works pretty close for me. We're not gonna install a language server now because it's gonna take way too long. You don't understand. It's not easy on this particular setup because I'm running Emacs in daemon mode, and turns out that basically nobody does that. But there's a fat chance we actually have to either patch the Emacs libraries or language server directly. So like it's gonna at least take a single stream to do that. So I don't want to do that right now. But it's, you know, nice to dream about. And I've been thinking about setting that up for like at least another year, you know. Maybe I've been talking about that since like last year as well. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, but you could see what you are missing. Oh, I know what I'm missing. I'm missing automated import, which is enough to do it for me, because I hate doing that. It's such a tedious task. Well, that's one of the projects, right? The other one is GHCIDE, which is different from GHCID, which is different from GHCI, and like we need to start another project that adds like another letter to that and be completely different as well, because this is not confusing enough yet. Jesus Christ! Can I just like kill off some of these projects? It's annoying. Right, so we have selective exports here. This is intentional, by the way. I don't want to export everything because I am pedantic about that. I always do selective exports, not imports. Imports are annoying, but exports are the way to go. Yes, I'm perfectly fine with managing my exports, but I'm not perfectly fine with managing my imports because it's just such a tedious task. So initial state. Oh, now we're gonna have a name class in the spec as well. Initial state. I need to do game board. Is this worth it? Game selected. Oh, we need to fix all these imports. Oh, let's get going then. Maybe even put you next to each other. Do that. Oh, we lost it. So Hangman GHC. Exactly. GCID LSP UI. So GHC, I was under the assumption that the projects of Haskell language server and GHCIDE got merged into another project. And the existing two, Haskell IDE engine. Yeah, so GHC IDE and Haskell IDE engine got merged into Haskell language server project. And Haskell language server is now the one to rule them all, I thought. But no, GHC IDE still lives. And Haskell IDE engine still lives. And God knows what else lives. Dante, you know, Interno. There are so many projects. I don't get this. Haskell language server is not done yet. Why the fuck did they promote it then? If it's not even working, why would you care? God damn it. Can't you just like, you know, say it's done and deliver a buggy piece of shit like all game devs do? Oh, I should be more silent. Why to kill? We are good people. Its CID was previously HIE core, I think. Oh, that's a spec, right. Why don't you rebuild the other thing? Oh, you're not even importing state, that's the problem. Spec. You don't need state anymore, and guest can just export guest. We are good peoples. HCD was previously Haskell IDE engine core, I think. It does mention it. So Haskell IDE engine core became GHC IDE, and then they started another project, Haskell language server, and then they decided to what? I'm just like getting more confused. So I'm just following Skybro's advice here, and I'm gonna use GHCID because he said it's the least fiddly, which, you know, is all the reason to use that. All right, we should actually not do it like this. We should go from 25 until 23. 23, call monads, data int. Otherwise the line numbers get fucked. Like there's an art to import management. You learn these skills and you're so proud of them. I put this on my resume. I can handle imports so fastly. You wouldn't imagine, man. Not load modules. We need to make HPAC. Putting these together, we've decided the best way forward is to create a new project with Haskell IDE, which combines the best of both. That project will be a source of plugins and a compatible distribution of an IDE. Under the hood, it will use GHC IDE library, making the core graph and logic. The new IDE will take over plugins and build system from HIE. There are some things in GHC IDE that will be separated into plugins, e.g. the code actions. There are some IDE in Haskell IDE engine that will be folded into GHC IDE, e.g. liveliness, plugin wrappers, and LSP quirks. Together we hope to create a world-class IDE experience in Haskell. In the short term, we don't recommend anyone to switch to this new IDE, as we're still plugging the pieces together. Continue using whatever you was using before. If you're interested in helping out, we're tracking some of the major issues in the ticket and the IDE and GHC IDE repos. I find Haskell language server to be decent, but I'm new to Haskell, so I haven't used anything else before either. Well, thanks for your input, but you know, it's really hard to make. I don't have anything, as you can see. I'm doing my own import management. So this is how the old timers do it, I guess, as well. I don't know. Or maybe I'm the only one that does it like this. I feel insecure about my IDE setup, as you can tell. That's why I ask. You know, I use a make file. That's my IDE setup. I couldn't figure out state. Had to regenerate itself. It knew it existed. It just couldn't figure it out. It's really hard. That's like part of the tooling bullshit here. Just couldn't figure out it existed. It's on the file system, but it couldn't figure it out. It's too hard. It's really difficult, Haskell, or as like a build tool, to figure out that things are on the file system. You have to tell it. This is serious, by the way. This is a real issue, and they're arguing about it. And I was like, okay, dude, I'll just implement like globbing, right? And they're like, no, it's too difficult. You can't do that. It's too difficult. Too difficult. We can program with fixed points and, you know, pro-functor optics, but figuring out files on a file system, no. Oh, crazy. IDEs only really matter, in my opinion, for very large projects. Well, I don't want to do my imports. Like, even my small projects have this bullshit, you know? And I'm not even talking about adding imports. I'm just talking about automatically deleting imports like this. This is so annoying. Having these little warnings pop up, and then I have to manually go there, go to line 21, and then delete. Go to line 13, and delete. I mean, I can jump lines crazy fast, but this is not a skill you want, right? Haskell's the only language I know pretty much lives. Haskell's the only language I know pretty much where every function/type lives. If you do it with HLint, you can do that with HLint actually. You can automatically fix warnings. I guess that's a good point, Lumi. We can, I wonder if you can run HLint on a single module, and then you can like write a shitty little wrapper for Emacs to run HLint on a command for the current buffer you have open, and only do imports and just skip everything else, because it can break things, you know. But if you only fix imports, then it's fine. Factor. Only hint. Specify which hints to use explicitly. So that's the first thing. The second thing you would have is refactor. And the third thing you need to have is file. No, that's not it. That makes a lot of sense. Why didn't we do that? Then my problems are gone, basically, right? Interesting. And this would just keep on working with every project without having to deal with the shitty IDE bullshit that's going on. Well, I haven't really tried that. Maybe it's really easy to set up an IDE. I probably should try it at least. Directory in which to search for files. I don't want to do everything. I want to do a single file. That's really important. And the reason for that, HLint grep option pattern file there. Okay. Command options. Or you can specify a file, I guess. Due to no IDE for 2 years. Yeah, but I memorized it. I don't know what you memorized, man. I forgot what we're talking about. I got obsessed with HLint for a bit here. We can do this. So we can specify a file there here. And then we can oh, that's fine. Refactor. And then we can what's the other one? Only do imports. And then you got your tool to automatically delete imports. So if you copy over another module, you don't have to deal with that shit. You just add that like run fix import in here as a command, and I will just do it for you. Oh my god, I'm gonna do this when I'm working. I'm so gonna do this when I'm working. That's a great idea, Loom. Thank you. I'm gonna write it down in risk book as like my primary thing to do, because I have to fix a bunch of imports at work. To do make HLint work magically with Emacs. Great. That's a bit faked for me. I won't remember what I did. Refactor file with only fixing import from a key binding. There we go. It's still busy. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. I don't know what it's doing actually, to be honest. Let's I lied. Go back to Haskell mode. I don't know what PS mode is. I want to do list processes. I spell server. Yeah. You know there's a process manager in Emacs. Apparently it's running. Oh, this is the Emacs server, right? And then we also running process. I thought there was also like a process for Dante, but apparently there's no process. Dante log buffer. Oh, it's not buffer, it's command. Oh, that's this thing, right? The REPL command does not support multiple targets at once. I don't know what it means. No multiple projects. Ah, that's bullshit. Jesus Christ. And maybe you should just disable Dante, to be honest. It's just so annoying. PHP mode. Still have that. Disabled. There we go. I remember setting this up and it was quite useful, but it's no longer useful. It's just annoying at this point. GHCID, not G. We have GHCID. It's also shitty. It's also broken, and I don't know why. It stopped being useful at some point. It slows down for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, and yeah, all software is broken. I don't know. I don't know why things don't keep working, or well, let's just delete you. You're fine. No. Test state. There we go. Make move. Right, you don't know about move. Variable the scope. You don't know about fold. One of the most annoying things is that Haskell by default has in prelude fold right, but not fold. It doesn't want you to use monoids. No instance for show for move. That's fine, we'll make that. No instance for eq move. We'll make that as well. New stop binds. Player axial. Oh. We got nothing. So we're actually failing this test. Why do we got nothing? So this is where we're gonna split up this function into smaller functions so we can figure out what's going wrong. Like a true trooper. And then we realize that this is actually kind of neat and hard to split up. That is this jack. Let's just delete this one, see what happens. No. What if it's this one? No. What if this is always true? Do you work? Would a match expected type all with? What if there's nothing here? Would you work? Please run the tests. Please run the test, mister. Please. I have a family to feed. No, it still doesn't work. You just don't have anything selected or something. Is that the problem? Spec test state. Let's oh, we don't got anything selected. That's probably the problem. Let's make something that's selected. We do that. Update state, initial state. I guess you just put in the actual if you want to try HLS. And you actually got a gist. Let me have a look, Contour, thank you. It's the shell though. How do I tell Emacs to use the shell? That's my problem. Oh, it's Visual Code. Right. I thought No, I need, why are you doing this? Why don't you pin? You need to pin contouring. This is not reproducible contouring. You need to pin. This will use my own operating system's Nix packages rather than yours. Yes, you do need to pin. God damn it. Now let Dom and Kansara explain to you why you need to pin. Pinning. Various Nix example, you often see this shitty Nix packages reference blah. Don't do that. This is convenient to quickly demonstrate Nix expression or regular Nix package. However, a resulting Nix expression is not fully reproducible. The Nix package is referenced from the local Nix path. So it will read this Nix path, which is in my environment. That, and this will be different in your environment. Because this is actually using the profile bullshit. You are lazy. Pants, if you're lazy. You should not. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm a bit condescending, but I just hate seeing this. Well, I don't hate it. I get mildly annoyed by it. Not even, yeah, just mildly annoyed. Every time I clone a project from Yappy, I need to wait for 2 hours for Nix to download shit. Yes, this is my gift to you, Skybro. You'll get exactly the same issues I have. This is my gift to you. And if you report a bug, and you'll have exactly the same issues as I have, I can verify the behavior. And we'll have exactly the same issues to look at. Isn't that amazing? This is the gift of reproducibility. Sharing, paying with your comrades. Man, I should write propaganda. Right, that's my hidden passion. Writing propaganda. Alright, we need to select it. Let's just make a function. Select. Axial. I want to put in game state first, and I'll put out our action. You're using dependencies that less prone. Change APIs and such. It's fine. Do not pin because you're getting auto updates. Yeah, but I don't want auto updates. That's the entire point. I would use Windows if I want to have auto updates. Call me crazy, man. I'm probably crazy. I don't know. By the way, unless you missed it, dir-env will tell Emacs to use Nix shell. No. No. I use dir-env in this one place, but I disabled Nix shell because it's so annoying. Takes too long. Oh, we wrote this entire function that hardly does anything, to be honest. Let's not write this function. Stupid fun. Test state. There we go. Game selected, player axial. There we go. Oh. It should be like this. And then player axial. Here. There we go. Oh, it works. Damn it. You open a file in that directory. No, he says. You need dir-env for Emacs though. No, why do you need dir-env for Emacs? You should probably still pin whether in CI for auto updating or something. No, you shouldn't auto update. I don't want to auto update. You auto update. Hey, why would I want to have auto updates? I'm pinning it in channels. I don't know what channels are. I don't care. Just pin my repos. You need this. How would I like share my project if it's not pinned? You know, how would you get exactly the same crypt as I have if you clone it? That's the entire point. I want to have this exact version. I don't want to have any auto updates, and I don't want the user to decide which version something is. I want it to be reproducible. I'll branch the Nix repo if I have more dedicated things. It depends on the project. No, I want to have everything reproducible. No issues with versions. Everything the same. Because if you open a file in Emacs that sits in a dir-env directory, Emacs will suck in your env. Wait, what? By the way, unless you missed it, dir-env will tell Emacs to use your Nix shell. If you open a file in Emacs that sits in your dir-env directory, Emacs will suck in your env for that directory. How do I tell Emacs though? I can't process this right now. Could you please tell this to me tomorrow? This is the solution to how do we make Haskell IDE engine. How do we make Emacs aware of the right Haskell language server, which is a command line tool, by the way. It's the most shitty name ever. Gotta go. Oh, see you later, Kantoran. Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, I don't think I convinced him to pin, but thanks for watching anyway. We just need to suck it in. Okay. Could you please tell again tomorrow, Skybro? Thanks. I think I get the idea, but our test is succeeding. I don't know why. So I guess that's not the problem then. Putting it into my to-do.org. Yes, thank you. That will be useful for our Emacs stream, bringing Emacs to the Mac. That's like long overdue, by the way. I thought we should fix our editor like weekly. I haven't done this for months. We've been using the same editor for months. Isn't that insane? Well, not really, but lacking of editor streams. They're popular as well on YouTube. Everyone loves seeing you fuck around in Emacs. Why does this work? So I want to add more debug information then. I want to see in game state. Do we set the selected tile? This is just all logic stuff, which apparently all works perfectly. Great. Then I guess it's more reflex issues. So we got the events there. We should also filter a bit more, by the way. I don't know. It's just ampersands, I guess. Has. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What's happening? Mouse buttons right click. And you also need to be mouse buttons down X. Mouse button event data, which is in SDL. We are spitting out two events, which may be problematic. I don't know. Probably should fix it. Well, probably not, but mouse button event data. Mouse button event data. Yes. Mouse button left middle. Which motion? We need to do motion. Let's make another lens. Mouse button motion. And then we'll make another prism pressed. Mouse button event motion. Beautiful. Which is mouse motion. And then we'll make input motion, I guess. Come on. Doesn't want to copy it. And then released. No, pressed. Which is CTR pressed. There you go. Prism prime, input motion to unit. Obviously. I mean, people are following this, right? It's just summoning the lenses from the ether because they are generic. So we can do this. We're allowed to. And everything works. So we're using generics to figure out the lens. All that boilerplate. Yeah, we can use make lenses as well, but you know, the template Haskell makes me feel bad. And this is for the upstream library as well. So they sometimes have lenses, but not always. And I'm just, you know, adding it by hand like a real trooper. Probably shouldn't do this. Summoning lenses. Template Haskell really has its problems. Well, yeah. I probably should use template Haskell. Need real macros. People are already going crazy with template Haskell. I'm gonna make them go even crazier. Well, they will. Anyway, ambiguous occurrence. Oh, right. Name it. Mouse button event motion. How about mouse motion? Isn't that a beautiful name? I think it is. But the thing with these massive libraries is that they tend to like use these unnecessary big ass names. Maybe we fix it. Probably not, but maybe we can try. You know. I need another terminal there. What would I do with real macros even? Dummy. played with recently. Apparently you can make it behave mostly like real macros if you import UHC API in the template Haskell expansion phase. So you can't access to eval. Oh really? That's cool. Wait, could I run arbitrary Haskell code and generate a Q expression as a type? Because I need that for basically spitting out Excel file. Oh. So what we have is some Excel file. I'm using embedded file right now, but what I want is that the Excel gets parsed at compile time. So if we make a mistake in the Excel file, we'll get an error at compile time, which would be great. And also it goes faster, right? Because the evaluation already has happened. Now it first needs to parse it at runtime because it's lazy. So you get the byte string, which is there completely, but we still need to parse it. So that takes cycles, and I hate those cycles. But you know, after the first evaluation, it's there forever. Yeah, I would love to have that, you know, properly embedded. But then I realized I had to do other things, so I stopped. I've learned that Lumi is actually a wizard. He is, yes. Probably has too much time on his hands, probably. Not that I disapprove, but will prefer embedded Haskell in a real Lisp personally though. And you can also make your own module system. No imports. Just make a fully connected module system where everything else is imported there always. Just everything is evaluated lazily. Wouldn't that be great? You just fix points. You figure it out. But nobody has ever thought about that. Someday I get to finish the project up. Project up? Which up? Oh, by the way, our DHCID also runs test, which is kind of cool. I wanted to run the program though, I don't want to test it. What am I doing? We didn't fix it. Surprise. Yeah, this is like the output. We got just player there. I wonder what the output of selected is. So got the game state, pure state. And let's do updated state, but not everything, because that's bad. Apparently. View, and let's look at state. Game selected. There we go. Lose point. And I made it cheap as well, so everyone can lose points. I wanted to make sure everyone can lose points. But like maybe if you try again, you'll gain some points by losing. Maybe. I can't make rewards to let you gain points. All the rewards are for losing. So I thought like, well, you know, it knows which one is selected, but you still don't want to move. It just refuses to move. My god, what's happening? Up somehow. Render state. We got the phi king. We render the hexagon. And here we got this fancy logic layer setting. This is a dynamic in a dynamic. Come to think of it. Maybe bad. That is bad, isn't it? Image. Image. I can't get pure either because you're in a list. Maybe it just doesn't get updated. That's form event file line. I want to not print that. I want to print the player setting. But that's the image. I can't print that. What if we do just actual first, and then we'll later map in the yeah. What if we do this first, and then later we'll map in the Viking here with compose. Yeah, compose. You're going on a dynamic, and then we're going into a maybe. So we compose, and then we uncompose. Isn't that amazing? Power of science. You don't know about monoid? Oh my god. Or maybe it's make compose. I don't know. Data functor compose. Structure compose. Oh, it's data functor compose. Obviously. It's not in monoid. It will be too obvious. It's not uncompose, it's cat compose. It just works. Isn't that great? So previously we used this, but we can also use compose. Isn't that great? Oh my god. Yeah, so this goes two deep instead of one. I don't know how it happens with compose. It's something I haven't figured out yet, but I guess we can. It goes 3 deep then. Ah, I thought it would maybe it would go 4 deep, but no, it just goes 3 deep. So we can, you know, compose more if you want to have more levels of depth in the functor. Guess you could even coerce that. Anyway, we needed to do this with player settings so we can actually print what's inside that, if it exists at all. Maybe pure. You don't need to get compose twice. Compose FG is a functor, so compose. What? No, I think you need to get it twice if you get it 2 levels deep, right? It's just to unwrap the new type. Shouldn't. Well, I guess we need to have some kind of structure that's 3 deep then instead of 2. Should occur at some point, because we like to nest and reflex, you know, these functors. We love them. 2, 3, nothing happened. I don't get it. It's not updated. Do we even do the move? We just wait. I would be too stupid. Made the function move, maybe get character move, over game board, move X. Oh yes, get compose would need to be used twice. You know what's a nice property? If we throw in random clicks like this, with quick check, with a single character inside of it, we should only ever keep 1 character inside the entire game state. So we should not get more. We shouldn't be able to put more stuff in than there is already inside magically. I guess we can make like a law of thermodynamics like that. Since compose takes 2 functors and compose FG is a functor, compose H, you should be able to map. Well, yes, but we couldn't do that because we didn't have 3 levels. We only had 2 levels, so it's not possible. Just compose wanted to go 2 deep, and then the compose above it wants to also go 2 deep, which means you want to go 3 deep apparently. And we didn't have a level of 3 depth, only had 2. So unfortunately, couldn't. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying we can show that off once we get 3 levels. I don't know what's going on, why it's broken. Kind of annoying. I suspect there's a bug in here then somehow, even though there's barely anything here. We gotta right click towards over the board. We got the character move. We figured out this works. I want to prepend my messages as well because I get confused. So please dump the entire state maybe. I don't know. It's too big. Is there ever a point where we overuse optics? Did I? I don't think my current issue is because I'm overusing optics. I just have a hard time debugging this because I don't know what's going on. I want to know. Okay, I'm right clicking here, right? Nothing is happening. So I want to capture the right click event. See it basically in this update function. So maybe we should make this like logging or something. Attach it to here. Is there a point where we overuse optics? And we can use it for pretty much anything it seems. Question, I want to hear your opinion. Well, this is actually like quite a restricted API, to be honest. It's not like you can write entire programs with just, well, at least I couldn't. You tend to like combine them with other techniques. Like here, for example, we have a little bit of optics here, and then we put it in a monad. Then again, a bit of optics, and then we put it in monad again. So it's a combination of techniques. And here as well, we use fold. I don't know what you would call fold. Like, oh, is our higher order function combinator magics, And then we have a bit of optics again. So yeah, it's a combination of things, different techniques. But are they techniques? They're just all functions, right? Sure. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my character is moving back. It's all very frustrating that I can't debug. Is there a trace? I really would need a trace. That's something else. Okay, I think I have to end the stream here soon. That's very late, I forgot. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be back soon. Be working more on this. We'll figure it out. Bye.